right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Kakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. We are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Why are prophesying to you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, which according to archaeology, the prophecies of the Holy Bible, and history, we are the Israelites of the book, the people of the Most High God. His name is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That is the Most High God's name in the ancient Hebrew tongue, which was the same tongue of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, Hamashayah, who ignorantly call Jesus Christ, which in these latter days, he's going to return in the form of an angelic power in the midst of World War III, which will come upon America, Babylon the Great. We are in Rome all over again. Just like the four remaining tribes, which is called the Southern Kingdom, which consists of Judah, which are the so-called African Americans, the tribe of Benjamin, the so-called West Indians, the tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitians, and the tribe of Simeon, which are the so-called Dominicans. These are the same Jews that you read about in the New Testament, which were still in the Holy Land. Then they were subjugated by the ancient Romans, which today are the Edomites, the so-called white man, the twin brother of a man named Jacob, which had 12 sons, and now today they became a multitude of people. In these days, they have become a multitude of nations. 12 sons of Jacob, his name was changed to Israel, according to the Holy Bible. And the 12 tribes today are the so-called black, Hispanic, Native Americans. Again, you have the Southern Kingdom, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon. The 8 lost tribes who have left the ancient Assyrian captivity in 858 BC. They lost tribes which came to the Americas by ships, which are the aboriginals of what you could call Northern and Southern America, which consists of the tribe of Zebulon from Guatemala to Panama, the tribe of Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans today, the tribe of Manasseh, which are the so-called Cubans today, the tribe of Gad, which are the North American Indians today, the tribe of Reuben, which are the Seminole Indians today. You have the tribe of Naphtali, which is from Argentina to Chile, the tribe of Asher, which is from Colombia to Uruguay, and the tribe of Issachar, which today are the so-called Mexicans. You have the tribe of Judah, Yahweh, meaning Yah, meaning he, Hawada is praised, or to give thanks. Hawad is an ancient Hebrew root. It also means to confess. Benjamin, Bun, meaning son, Yaman, Yamyan, meaning right. He's the son of the right. Levi, Lawaya, meaning joined unto me. Tribe of Simeon, which is Shammai, Shammai 1, Shammai meaning to hear, I won, Raina, which is the root, meaning affliction heard. The tribe of Zebulon, which is Zebulon in the ancient Hebrew tongue, meaning the dweller on ships, or haven of ships. The tribe of Ephraim, which denotes fruitfulness, which is in the ancient Hebrew tongue, Aparium. You have Manasseh, which is Manasseh in the ancient Hebrew tongue, which means to be forgotten. The tribe of Gad, which are the so-called Native Americans in the ancient Hebrew tongue, it means fortunate. The tribe of Reuben, Ra'al Waban, meaning here is a son, behold a son. Ra'ah in ancient Hebrew, to see, Ban meaning the son. Tribe of Naphtali, meaning Naphtaliah, my strivings. The ancient Hebrew root word is pathal, meaning accord, in the sense of striving with oneself. The tribe of Asher, which are Columbia, dear white, Ashar, meaning to be contentful. Issachar, Yah, meaning he. Yasha is. Shakar, he is higher. So there you have it. Where you prophesied to our people not only who they are, but we're prophesying that 2/3 of the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans will be coerced into taking the RFID chip, which is coming to America, Babylon the Great, which is the mark of the beast, according to Revelation 13:16. This is also called the hour of temptation in the Holy Bible. Jacob's trouble, which is also known as the Great Tribulation, is coming in the form of World War III, martial law, FEMA camps, famine is coming to America, Babylon the Great, a lack of bread, a lack of water. But first you gotta have the coming of the RFID chip. Then the Most High God, his name is Yahweh, is gonna send his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, which was a so-called black man, to deliver a remnant of the Israelites. 2/3 will die by thermonuclear fire. World War III, great insurrection, which is coming to America. Martial law, FEMA camps. It's where we're hoping to save some by preaching, which is foolishness unto men, according to the Holy Bible. And we give double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 20. Let me read. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth, wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. America, Babylon the Great, is compared to a great whore that commits fornication with all the nations of the earth. And this city, which was built off of blood, America, Babylon the Great, off the blood of the Native Americans, our Negro brothers, and the ancient, the other lost tribes, which were conquered by the Spaniards, which are Edomites as well. So the Most High God is dealing with his people, and he will deliver them via the second coming of Yahweh Shai, of Mashiach, which will return as an angelic power with the holy angels via the so-called UFOs that you read about in the Holy Bible. First you gotta have the coming of the Kuragma, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. Then you're gonna have martial law, FEMA camps, thermonuclear fire, according to Ezekiel chapter 38. You have Russia, China, Iran. All these nations, these superpowers, will come up against America, Babylon the Great, to utterly destroy it because of the iniquities of the so-called white man, which has done nothing but rape, rob, and murder the whole earth. This is who you read about in Genesis chapter 4. His name was Cain. The mark that Cain received was a mark of leprosy. This is a man, the only man on planet Earth which has no pigmentation. This is how you know who the wicked of the earth is. Now some of our people look like so-called Caucasians, so-called Chinese, Japanese, Arabs, so-called Africans, because we have mingled amongst the people. The Most High God is dealing with the lineage through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So a part of our gospel is to condemn 2/3 of our people for not repenting as Israelites, seeking the Most High God while he still may be found, calling upon his name, seeking the prophecies of the Holy Bible. the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. So it says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. The Holy Bible says that what? The iniquities of America, Babylon the Great, has reached unto heaven. The so-called white man and you other nations, they have conspired to cut off a remnant of us as to be called to be as the Israelites will be destroyed as well. 2/3 of our people and the so-called white man. So we're hoping to save some by coming out on the highways and byways and prophesying to our people. And you scoffers, you murmurers, you do not give a damn what you think. We are here to do one thing, that's called back a remnant of our people, those that follow the Lamb, whatsoever you're going. Yahweh Shai, Amashayat. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 21. For 3 things, the earth is disquieted, for 4, which it cannot bear, for a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat. And the so-called white man is a goddamn fool. He is a goddamn servant. He is the basis of men, like it says in the book of Job. But the only reason why he has the power in this time is because he's been blessed with the sword. The modern day sword is what? Your nuclear missiles, the gun, the weapons of warfare, which he had gave to the so-called white man, and he will raise him up to show his power in heaven in the time when all hell breaks loose. The scriptures say that he will be like a madman, sparing none. And you see that happening already. The goddamn devil is revealed. He's telling you what his plans are. He's going to attempt to brand the people like fucking animals through his RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. And he has to pay for the iniquities of his fathers. This goddamn devil has gone into Africa and cut little children's hands off, melted the Japanese little girl's ears off in Hiroshima with his hydrogen bomb. This man is polluting the food, the air, the water. You see many processing plants being destroyed, crops being destroyed. Why? Because there's a famine being engineered across the whole earth. Because in that day, the so-called white man wants you to beg him to give him for him to give you the RFID chip. And these days are coming. Thus saith the Holy Bible. So out here warning our people, the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. This is the book, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 7. For the Spirit of Yahweh filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. The Spirit of the Lord is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the prophecies of the Holy Bible, which he has only given unto the Israelites, so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. You other nations, you are nothing but wicked. You're idolaters. Look at the so-called East Indian. Nothing but statues that he worships. The so-called Chinese, Japanese. They're all idolaters, filthy idolaters. You're going to be destroyed in the coming of World War III. Martial law, FEMA camps, thermonuclear fire, which is coming to America, Babylon the Great. So having knowledge of the voice is what? The voice of the servants of the Most High God, which are showing you the things that are coming upon planet Earth. Destruction, famine, plagues, and they're here already. So we're here warning our people about what? The coming of the RFID chip, martial law, FEMA camps, World War III, thermonuclear fire. Thus saith the Holy Bible. So it says, Wisdom of Solomon 1:7, for the Spirit of Yahweh filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. Wisdom of Solomon 1:8, therefore he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass by him. Wisdom of Solomon 1:9, for inquisition shall be made to the counsels of the ungodly. You goddamn Edomites, you are the nations. You're drunk of the philosophies of this world, of the philosophies of the so-called white man. But guess what? Scriptures say that your gold and your silver will not save you in that day. So we're here to condemn the workers of iniquity as well. Call back a remnant of our people. But 2/3 of the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans do not believe these things. Why? Because they're carnal. They're not born of the Spirit. They have been blinded, although you see the signs that Yahushua, Hamashiach, spoke about that would happen at the end of the world. The end of the world means the end of the white man's world, and the beginning of Jacob's world, which is the Israelites, starting with the remnant that will be delivered by the chariots of the Lord. The holy angels will be given spiritual power. In the second coming of Yahushua, Hamashiach, and will set order back on planet Earth as it should have been since the creation of the world. Wisdom of Solomon 1:9, for inquisition shall be made to the counsels of the ungodly. The sound of his words shall come unto the Lord with the manifestation of his wicked deeds. Romans chapter 8, verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Talking about the remnant of the Israelites, which will be delivered with a great deliverance according to the Holy Bible. Be it the chariots, the Most High God, so-called UFOs that you read about in the Holy Bible. In that day, when the Son of Man, who you call Jesus Christ, Yahushua, Hamashiach, will descend and cover the earth with the chariots, with the holy angels, in the midst of World War III. So you got to have first the final prophecies according to the Holy Bible. The so-called white man implementing his RFID chip. And then all hell breaking loose. And then you're going to have World War III, martial law, FEMA camps. Ezekiel chapter 38 says Russia, China, Iran, all these superpowers, which is called Gog and Magog, will come up against America, Babylon the Great, and just utterly destroy it with fire and brimstone. Romans chapter 8, verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. The same lineage of men that you read about in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 4, which went through the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the children of the prophets. Scriptures say, who can but prophesy? Who else is telling you these things that are coming upon planet Earth? The answer is nobody but the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. I'm telling you the knowledge, the understanding that has been hidden for over 2,000 years. But now, the Most High God is showing you through His Word that He is making His prophecies manifest. Romans chapter 8, verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. Because, Romans 8:21, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption to the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together even until now. So unless the Most High God cuts the day short, scriptures say that no flesh would be saved. So you're going to have what? The plagues be magnified. The so-called white man getting more and more desperate. Scriptures say that the hand of the laborer will rise up against him. So this is what Yahushua and Mashiach spoke about. Division in the latter days. World, war, famine, pestilence, division, wickedness being multiplied. The book of Acts, chapter 24, verse 5. Acts 24, 5. We have found this man, a pestilent fellow, and a mover of sedition among all the Jews throughout the world, and the ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes. So Paul the Apostle was called a Nazarene. He had a vow that he had to fulfill, which the Nazarites let their hair grow out. But you have camps like IUIC teaching that men should naturally have long hair. Samson had long hair, but he was a Nazarite, which according to the law is a vow that you make for a certain time, and then you grow your hair, but then you have to cut it once that vow is complete. But in that time of the New Testament, which was during the Roman captivity, which is 146 BC, you had Gentiles, which were Israelite foreigners, because during the time of the Maccabees, which is in your history books, they followed after the ways of the Romans and the Greeks. But you have other Hebrew Israelite camps saying it's okay that even though Paul the Apostle said it's a shame for a man to have long hair. So these men are hypocrites. IUIC, they teach the law, but yet they are not the doers of the law. They're not telling you about the RFID chip, which is coming. The RFID chip being the mark of the beast. They're not warning you about World War III, Great Famine, martial law, FEMA camps coming to America, Babylon the Great. Paul the Apostle said that I have not shunned to declare the whole counsel of the Lord. So we're giving you the whole counsel, the whole understanding, all these things that will happen according to the Holy Bible. So it says, Acts 24 and 5, that Paul the Apostle was a Nazarene. What does that mean? You can just go after your own understanding, like these other camps do, and automatically assume that you can go contrary to the law. This is a book. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. 1 Corinthians 11 and 14. Does not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? So there you have it. These other camps are teaching you nothing but hypocrisies. ISUP came and not give you the proper breakdowns of the Holy Bible. IUIC still calling it on white Jesus. They're teaching the law, teaching the Sabbath. They're not teaching the correct Sabbath. They're going against the law, what says in the scriptures. So these men are hypocrites. They're not warning you about the coming of the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, FEMA camps, thermonuclear fire, coming to America, Babylon the Great. So just because Paul, the apostle, was a Nazarene, that doesn't mean you can do what the hell you want. The Most High God gave the law, statutes, and commandments to promote order. You have dietary laws. You have civil laws that show you how to handle certain situations. You have laws concerning idolatry, laws that promote order. And the law is not the end-all, be-all. And it's not about how you look. It's about circumcising your heart. It's not about wearing the fringes or the mitre. Most High God said what? To understand His will, obey His voice, which is the whole book. The law, statutes, commandments, the prophecies, the things that will come to pass in these latter days. This is the book, Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of these scriptures, might have hope. So our hope is that what? The Most High God is going to cut the day short. Show new signs, new wonders, like it says in the book of Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus. Our hope is that the Most High God in that day will spare us like He spares His own Son, which ultimately is going to be a remnant of those that seek the Most High God in their youth, but repent as Israelites, circumcise their heart, and not their raiment. So it's not about having the biggest cap, the purplest garment. It's about knowing what is coming. Yo, back up. It's not a fucking joke. It's not a fucking cartoon.